Dear Dharma Masters and Lotus friends, Namo Ami Tuo. This is for Xing. This evening, I'd like to share a teaching by Master Zongdao. The title of this teaching is From Desire to Liberation, the Four Levels of Happiness. You may wonder, are there truly different levels of happiness? The answer is yes. As you listen, take a moment to reflect on which level of happiness resonates with your own experience. The first level, pleasures derived from indulging in the five desires. Many people seek pleasures through wealth, lust, fame, gluttony, and indolence. By indulging in these five desires, they may experience fleeting joy so intense that they would go to great lengths to obtain it, sometimes even willing to abandon fundamental values like integrity, justice, and honor, or endanger their own lives in the pursuit of these worldly pleasures. Yet, these desires are like bait, luring people toward the depths of hell. The fleeting pleasures they bring quickly transforms into the five forms of suffering, worldly punishments, and the five searing pains, pains in the three wretched realms. This is truly tragic. What begins as momentary satisfaction inevitably transforms into immense suffering. Master Shandao warns that even if one were to indulge in the pleasures of the five desires for 1,000 years, it would only deepen the karmic causes that leads to the suffering of hell. The second level, the happiness of practicing worldly benevolence. Many traditions, such as Confucianism, Taoism, Christianity, and Islam, teach people to be kind and compassionate, to care for others, and to let go of worldly desires. Through these virtuous actions, individuals accumulate blessings that bring good fortune and an auspicious life. Some may even achieve great wealth and high social status. To many, this is considered true happiness in the world. However, from the Buddha's perspective, this kind of happiness is fleeting and cannot free one from the cycle of samsara. Why? Because worldly good deeds, while meritorious, bring only blessings, not true wisdom. Those who enjoy the fruits of good karma, such as fame, fortune, and power, may lack the insight to understand the law of cause and effect. Without this wisdom, they remain ignorant and fail to cultivate the practices needed to transcend samsara. As a result, the blessings are eventually exhausted, and when this happens, they fall into the three wretched realms of suffering. This is what the Buddha referred to as the three lifetime cycle of suffering. First lifetime, one plants good seeds by performing virtuous deeds and accumulating blessings. Second lifetime, one reaps the rewards of their past good karma, enjoying abundance and prestige. However, complacency and ignorance lead them to neglect the law of cause and effect, and they begin to accumulate negative karma. The third lifetime, the cycle turns. Their accumulated blessings are depleted, and the bad karma from the previous life takes hold. At this point, they fall into the three lower realms of immense suffering. The third level, the happiness of practicing the sacred path. Buddhist practitioners deeply understand that worldly goodness, while commendable, cannot lead to ultimate liberation. They recognize the profound and inconceivable nature of the Dharma and realize that all phenomena are ultimately empty of inherent existence. Even as they engage in virtuous actions, they remain unattached. They uphold precepts, cultivate patience, and dedicate themselves to Mahayana practices, striving with great compassion to benefit all beings. Through practices such as meditation, mantra recitation, and insight cultivation, they still their minds and find inner peace. Over time, as their efforts bear fruits, their intrinsic wisdom gradually manifests, bringing a profound purity to their lives. The joy they experience in both body and mind far surpasses even the greatest worldly pleasures by countless measures. However, in this Dharma ending age, such profound joy is exceedingly rare. Few possesses the sharp faculties and fervent determination required to attain it. As the Buddha himself foretold, while the teachings will endure, practitioners with the capacity to truly realize them are scarce, and enlightenment even rarer. Without anyone attaining the path, how can the bliss of the sacred way be truly experienced? Moreover, even those who gain meditative absorption or fleeting insights cannot escape the immense karmic obstacles accumulated over countless lifetimes. Their efforts are akin to a gravely ill person applying a cooling balm to their skin, providing momentary relief, yet ineffective to stop the cancer spreading throughout their body. We must recognize the fragility of our existence. For our very lives hang by a thread, with no certainty of surviving from one moment to the next. The fourth level, the blissfulness of rebirth through Amitabha recitation. True Amitabha reciters deeply feel the pressing urgency of resolving the issue of what lies beyond this life and are profoundly awakened to the fleeting nature of impermanence. With an unshakable resolve for liberation, they recognize the limitations to their own efforts and humbly entrust themselves to Amitabha Buddha, whose compassionate vows are immeasurable and most powerful. Understanding that his great vow offers the swiftest path out of the 6 realms of samsara, they're moved to their core by Amitabha's call of boundless compassion. It is truly a moment of finding life in the face of despair. It is like encountering a radiant lamp in a darkest night, discovering a life-saving spring in the desert, a pauper unearthing a priceless treasure, or a death row prisoner receiving an unexpected pardon. Such is the overwhelming bliss experienced by Amitabha reciters. Shakyamuni Buddha devoted his life to teaching the Dharma, guiding sentient beings toward liberation. He taught the practice of worldly virtue to help us escape the traps of the 5 desires. He taught the sacred path to reveal the limitation of worldly goodness in attaining enlightenment. Finally, he taught the Pure Land path to address the challenges of self-powered practice on the sacred path. The Buddha's compassionate wish is for all beings to renounce the fleeting pleasures of the five desires and embrace the true blessings of this world. Let go of worldly illusions to experience the joy of cultivating the sacred path. Abandon the limitation of self-power practice and rely on the boundless compassion and utter power of Amitabha's vow, ultimately transcending the 6 realms of samsara and attaining Buddhahood. This is Shakyamuni's deepest intent. Through layers of skillful means and boundless compassion, he patiently guides all beings step by step to the ultimate refuge in Amitabha's deliverance. Which level of happiness are you experiencing? The joy of Amitabha recitation is the highest and most sublime, like standing on the very pinnacle of a pagoda. From this elevated vantage point, all other forms of happiness pale in comparison. Those fortunate enough to encounter this path should cherish it, relinquishing lesser joys to embrace the supreme bliss of Amitabha recitation. Thank you for allowing me to share this teaching with you tonight. 南无阿弥陀佛。